When I was small, I lived two different lives in the same body. There was the one at school, out of breath, literally. I had asthma, running when the others ran. Pretending to care about what they cared about. Trying to belong, it mostly didn't work. And then there was the one in bed at night. The dark wasn't empty. There were colors in it, patterns, shapes, sometimes lights moving. I was mesmerized. My mother had told me she'd seen the same things as a child and learned to suppress them. So I knew I wasn't alone, and I knew already that this was something you suppressed. Sometimes the night turned, aliens on television, the way they were drawn back then, I didn't dare turn off the light. But mostly there was a whole world in there, a world nobody around me seemed to know about or want to talk about, except maybe my mother. Two different people, same body, same day. I didn't know that wasn't healthy. I was surviving, the way kids do. I have names for those two now. One I'd call the perceiving self, the part that knew before I learned anything, before patterns and beliefs got placed on top. The kid in bed, seeing what was there to see. The other I'd call the performing self, the part that learned to read the room, to perform, to fit. The kid out of breath at school. Neither was a false. There's a version of this story where the perceiving self is the real one, and the performing self is a mask to throw off. I held that for a while, and I held the opposite, that the perceiving self was just the soft part of me, and I needed to learn to function. That's not how I hold it now. The performing self built my entire life. School, career, the things I made. It just grew much taller than the perceiving self. One got loud, one got quiet. The split didn't end with school. It just got more sophisticated. I built things, websites, then apps, then companies. The performing self had a vocation. It kept getting better. The perceiving self stayed inside. Books I read, in private, late-night corners of the internet, a few friends who could hear it, but mostly alone. Different people in my life knew different versions of me. It worked. For a long time, the body knew, first. I'd notice it in the evenings, not relaxed tired, hollow tired, the kind that comes from spending the day being someone slightly other than yourself, and only realizing it once you stopped. And on the other side, joy, real joy, a dream that was clearly more than a dream, a feeling arriving from somewhere I couldn't account for. Something a medium said that landed too specifically to dismiss. Those moments were alive. They were the most alive I'd feel all week, and there was nowhere to put them. I'd have a dream, and in the morning there'd be no one to tell. So the dream stayed, and slowly, the perceiving self started getting lonely. That's what started thinning the walls. Not a moment, not an insight, just the slow recognition that the arrangement wasn't sustainable. The performing self was running on fumes. The perceiving self was getting lonely. And the body, the lungs, the throat, had been keeping count the whole time. Slowly, the two started reaching for each other. Each one needs the other to make sense. The performing self alone couldn't hold what I was noticing. The perceiving self, without rigor, drifted soft. Together, they began forming something more honest. Finding form isn't me teaching anyone anything. I haven't figured it out. It's the perceiving self and the performing self I started with as a kid, finally in the same room, talking in public for the first time. If you know what it's like to keep parts of yourself in different rooms, you're in the right place.